right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Our next guest may not realize that this part of Florida is called horse country, and in fact, some people call it the horse capital of the world. I guess Kentucky might have a little argument with that, but anyway, we definitely have our share of horses, and this morning we've had our share of horse conversations, and as I mentioned, our next guest may not realize that we have that much of a connection with horses here in Ocala, so let me tell you why I say that. Mandy Retzlaff is on the phone. She's a lifelong horsewoman and rancher in northern Zimbabwe, Africa, until she and her husband were forced to flee their land in 2000 during President Robert Mugabe's controversial land reform program. They're now living on the Mozambique coast in Africa, and her book is called 104 Horses. It's a memoir of farm, family, Africa, and exile. What a fascinating story, beautifully written book, and I think she's actually calling us from Africa. Let's find out. Mandy, are you there?
Hi, Larry, I am, and thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, thank you. And are you in Africa?
I am. I'm in Vilanculos, Mozambique, which is East Africa.
Okay, wow. And so the story that we read in the book, when did that all happen? When did that take place?
Do you mean how the book, how the idea of the book started?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, we were very lucky. A journalist came out to visit Patrick and I in Vilanculos, and she had connections to Zimbabwe, and she was very interested in our story. So she wrote an article in a newspaper in London, and it was picked up by a literary agent. And so he came out to visit Pat and I and put the idea of writing this story into my head.
Oh, wow. So he saw that people around the world would want to read this. Now, was the instinct of the story because of the horses, because of the political exile that you went through, or both?
I think he just thought that the story would appeal because of the horses. I guess all animal stories are fairly touching, and he just thought it was an incredible story.
And it seems that reading your story, that these attacks were on the white farmers of the area.
Not only white farmers, black farmers as well. So it's quite hard if one doesn't know the politics of Zimbabwe. Like all African politics, they might be a little difficult to understand. But in our case, Mugabe had ruled for 20 years. He held a referendum in 2000 to change the constitution, and everybody voted no. And a different political party had started in the labor unions, and Zimbabwe felt they were ready for change. So really, this was retribution for voting the wrong way.
Oh, okay. Boy, that stinks, huh? I mean, it totally uprooted you and your husband.
Well, not only us. He got rid of agriculture entirely, really, and we were the first, part of the first 45 farms trashed and looted in 2001. So
take us to that point. When you say the farm was trashed and looted, how did that happen? Where were you when it happened? Tell us that story.
Well, it started with our neighbors who were barricaded into their house with their two small children. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, the crowd around their gates were really, really strong. And Zimbabweans are very peace-loving people. So I think they had to sort of really look around to get, these thug-type people. So they were a horrible bunch of people, but they had a terrible time. They were barricaded in their house for nearly 17 hours, and they thought they were going to die. Their dog was shot, and eventually there was shots fired at the house. But fortunately, as the book describes, they survived it. But that was the start of the trashing and looting of the farms in that area. So by that time, we had got off the farm.
The book is called 104 Horses. Did the 104 horses survive, and did they travel with you to your new location?
Well, we collected a lot more than 104 horses, Larry. We're probably closer to 250 farm horses.
Oh, wow.
104 horses. The title is what we moved into Mozambique eventually.
Oh, okay. And how do you do that? I mean, well, help us understand the distance. How much distance did you have to move?
Well, just to tell you how it all started, our neighbors who I've just spoken about, who were barricaded in their house, they had quite a lot of horses. So we managed to move our workers and our own horses to another farm, and we took the Geldenhuis's horses with us. And any horse that was valuable, like a race horse or a polar pony, was quickly sort of taken out of the country. But farm horses, nobody wanted. So basically, as people left farms, they didn't know what to do with these animals. So Pat and I became known, or Pat, I must say, who really felt desperate for these horses, started to take them in. So we became known as the horse people.
Okay. So you travel now. I'm trying to understand the infrastructure of Africa. Is it?
Yes.
And forgive me for not knowing this, but are the roads paved?
Not all of them.
No.
The main roads, but we moved. So the first eviction was from our own farms. The second eviction was from a farm that we, had leased. And then we were given 4 hours to leave that farm. So the invasion sort of followed areas, if you can imagine. I'm not sure what it's like in the States, but you have different sort of farming areas. And so the land invasion spread. So we had about 6 evictions, and eventually ended up in Matari, which is on the border of Mozambique and Zimbabwe.
And what is Zimbabwe like now for the people who still are there?
Well, Mr. Mugabe has just won another election, but obviously agriculture is not the same, and I guess well, politically it's the same.
I gotcha. So there's no agriculture. I mean, why would they chase away agriculture? It seems like that would be a self-sustaining thing to have. I mean, you want people who can bring you food and other things that agriculture does for you.
Well, I think that if you can keep your people hungry, you have more control over them.
Oh, that's a pretty profound statement. Okay.
You have a lot of horses that have different personalities, and some rise to the top, like Tequila, the escape artist. That was a funny area there.
Yes, well, Tequila is on Benguera Island. That keeps him safe from running away. But he did spend a lot of time trying to get back to Zimbabwe.
So the literary agent came around and spoke to you and heard a story. Was this your first? Is this your first writing? Is this your first book?
Yes, it was my first book, but I did a lot of writing. I've always written, and I did a lot of writing during the land invasions. I have a website, mandyretzlaff.com. So I've always written, and it was fairly easy because I had so much material of what had happened to us, during those years.
So when you are recalling everything that happened to you and you're trying to move forward in the present, do you try to preserve the history so that when people read your book and interview you for future stories, that they're aware that this horrendousness occurs and that there should be something to try to stop this from happening again?
Well, look, sadly, I think in Africa, these things will always happen. History always sort of repeats itself. But I really hope that people could read our story as it was, as farmers, as a farming family. I mean, we weren't very interested in politics. We're so busy trying to survive on farms. I'm sure America is just the same. You're worried about your next crop or your bank loan. And I just hope that people who read it realize that, life goes on and you can move from a desperate situation into a happier one. Just don't look back.
Yeah. So again, maybe you said earlier and I didn't hear it. How far is it from Zimbabwe to Mozambique?
Mozambique borders Zimbabwe.
Okay, I just don't. Yeah.
Where we were farming in the Mangura area, well, that is quite away from the border.
Okay, and so the horses, the horses that you took with you, they were all in trucks, or how did they actually make the trip?
Well, well, obviously you'll probably read the full story in the book, but just the synopsis of it was that the government banned the export of all agricultural equipment and livestock. And so we had hoped that we would get the horses over the Chimanimani Mountains. And we did go and have a look at it. But at that time, Zimbabwe was in a desperate situation. So the mountains were being controlled by border guards because a lot of Zimbabweans were trying to cross to buy essential items that they could take back to Zimbabwe because you couldn't buy milk or bread at that stage. So we soon realized that it would be impossible to get them over the mountains because we would face these guards. So then I think it was the SPCA Matari, they found out that horses came under domestic animals. So they weren't under agricultural livestock as such. So we decided that we would just try and truck as many of them as we could. And they did turn the trucks back, and they did sort of, they asked for finder certificates for hay bales and made up 1,000 excuses. But we just pressed on because we knew that our paperwork, they couldn't fault us on it.
Oh, okay. And as you mentioned, the details of the story are in the book, and that's one of the reasons you're getting the rave reviews you're getting. And I think the people who are giving you those good reviews are commenting on something that is intangible. It's more about the caring that you seem to be expressing in the story, and about your sheer determination, I guess, to not only to survive yourself, but to make sure that these horses survived.
Well, my husband made a commitment to these horses, and I must say, I would have probably have stuck my head in an oven if it hadn't been for Pat's sheer determination. He was absolutely sure that we would survive this, and it was sort of a promise he'd made to himself. So there was no turning back at all.
Had you not rescued the horses, what would have happened to them?
Well, they would have been put down, I guess, or died, on farms where they hadn't been, nobody could take care of them.
Well, they weren't.
But a lot of horses were put down by veterinarians, hundreds of them.
So they weren't slaughtered for meat. I mean, they're not doing that, are they?
No, they slaughtered the cattle, though.
Yeah, they do that here too.
When you have such a political power like that, and did that ever come up in conversation with your neighbors before they forcibly evicted you? That maybe one day that might happen?
Well, we were in shock when they murdered the first white farmer. But, just to tell you something, it wasn't only white farmers that were kicked off their land. It was black farmers as well. I think the media sort of, covered the white situation more. But, I can't tell you what happened to so many wonderful black Zimbabweans who were so brave through all these troubles. And, as I said before, when you're farming, you're just so worried about, sort of the day-to-day problems on the farm that you sort of don't worry too much about the politics. But there were definitely rumblings. People were aware of it, but I don't think anybody thought they would destroy agriculture completely. I mean,
yeah, right.
It was just something we just could never imagine. Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa. The research, the genetics of cattle breeding and horsing, the racing. I mean, it was just an amazing country.
So the politics of where you are now in Mozambique, that's a different politics, or is the politics like not really all that political? It's kind of a weird way to ask the question, but hopefully you understand.
Well, Mozambique came out of a bloody civil war where, nearly 1 million people were killed. So, Mozambique is at peace at the moment, and we hope it remains so. But, in Africa, politics just can change overnight.
How did the children adjust to this?
Well, I think our middle son, Jonathan, or Jay, he did a hunting apprenticeship as a guide. He loves the bush. I think he was affected the most. Our daughter Kate lives in London, and our older son Paul lives in the Philippines. But I think they've been denied a home, really. It's like, say you come from Alabama and somebody says you can never go back there for some reason. You've lost everything. I think your home is sort of, where your heart is.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's just difficult.
I want to ask you about the racism, if there is any. Is it like we've always heard in South Africa that there's racism that might be where the whites are in charge? Is the exact opposite true in Mozambique? Or
no,
or Zimbabwe?
Not at all. No,
oh, okay.
not at all.
Okay, so
no,
everybody's fine with everybody else.
Oh, absolutely. And I think South Africa really is the same now. I don't think we get a more sort of multicultural, amazing country than South Africa now. It's a long time since there was apartheid.
Yeah. Well, you hear stories, and it's hard to know when we're this far away. Let me reintroduce Mandy Retzlaff is on the phone. She's calling us from Mozambique, on the east coast of Africa, and she and her family had to move from Zimbabwe because of a political upheaval when the president, I guess, Robert Mugabe, decided to do away with agriculture. How crazy is that? And the book that documents all of this and tells the story in a wonderful way is called 104 Horses. It's a memoir by our guest of Farm and Family, Africa and Exile. I'm just to talk about the book itself. You must have been excited when this all came to fruition.
Well, Pat and I live in the middle of nowhere, so we're a bit isolated, really, from the fuss the book has created. But we're so delighted, and I'm so humbled, and I'm so honored that people think the story is worth reading. And what can I say? I really, it is just wonderful.
Right.
On a horse herd note, you say that Shere Khan is the queen of the herd. How do they choose the ruler in a herd of horses? How does that happen?
Well, sadly, Shere Khan is no longer with us. If you read in the book, we lost 30 of our beloved horses with a plant poisoning. And but she was just one of the most beautiful horses you could have ever have seen. She was just gorgeous.
Mandy, we do this show live. That means our listeners will often call in to say hi to our guests, and maybe we have a phone call. Good morning, you're on the air. No, we don't have a phone call. I thought we did. But if you'd like to call and speak to Mandy, you're welcome to. The number is 622-WOCA if you want to be on the air and speak to Mandy. As I mentioned, this is horse country right here. Are the horses different in Africa than I would see here in my own town?
Well, these are sort of sturdy farm horses, so they're mixed breeds. So they've got a bit of Arab in them, a Boer paired. I don't know what kind of horses you've got there. I'm sure they're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Are your horses in danger from the natural predators, from like lions and things like that? How do they protect themselves in the open areas?
Well, no, ours aren't. And sadly, most of the game is lost in Mozambique. The Civil War got rid of most of the game. And Mozambique did have spectacular game. But no, there are no lions here, fortunately. But
this is what we think of Africa.
Yeah. Well, you really are certainly giving me an education today, because this is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it's the continent we're the most ignorant about.
Yeah.
I think we know more about Antarctica than we know about Africa. So what's the weather like there right now?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So we live on the Indian Ocean, so it's lovely warm sea, gorgeous palm trees, and we're in the tropics, so it's very, very beautiful.
Sounds like here. But now you're in a country that has a coast. I mean, in a way, is that better for you to have that coastline nearby?
Well, definitely for the riding, because, when we were absolutely desperate, Pat had to think of a plan so that we could feed our horses. So he loaded 7 horses on an old truck, and he arrived in Vilanculo to start the beach riding. And he started that in December 2006, but in February 2007, a cyclone hit the coast of Vilanculo. It was flattened, and there wasn't a tourist here for a rather long time. But we're going strong at the moment.
What do the visitors see when they come to your area and you take them on a tour?
Well, I think most people fall in love with Mozambique. Occasionally, somebody says, "Don't you have any roads here?" But it's very beautiful.
So where are you? What's
a very beautiful little town, and it's 2,500 kilometers of pristine coastline. So the beach riding, you can ride for kilometers. It's really great. So we do 7 nights, 8 days, or 4 nights, 5 days, and we have lots of Americans who come out, either as volunteers or they come riding with us, so we're very lucky.
Mandy, I'm looking at the map of Mozambique on Google. Where are you, and what's the name of the town you're in?
Vilanculos.
Now where?
So VIL.
And where is it?
AN. Where is it?
VILAN. Kulos. Okay, I see it. Hold on, I'll click on the little thing here and find it. Now I'm going to be a know-it-all. Here we are. All right, I think I found it. Hey, wait a minute, it took me someplace else. Let me do it again. Vilanculos, Mozambique. And that's where you're calling from. I have a copy of the book.
I am.
Let me, while I'm doing this, let me see if I can give away the copy of the book. If you would like the book, it's called 104 Horses. It's written by, I guess, Mandy Retzlaff. Call me and I'll put your name on it. It'll be waiting for you. Mandy, is there a website you want to tell us about?
Yes, if you look at Mozambique Horse Safari, you'll see our website. And you can follow us on Facebook. We have pictures of all the characters in the book, and we'd love you to have a look at them.
Oh, wow.
They're real stars.
Okay, I found you on the map here. Now I found you. Oh, Wave, I'm looking at you. There you are. Okay. Boy, that looks like a pretty ocean. You got a turquoise water there.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us today, and good luck with everything you're doing. And it sounds like you've got your act together. I mean, you sound very calm and very, I don't know, it sounds wonderful. I hope it is.
No, I get very stressed at times, Larry.
Oh,
But thank you. I'm so honored you want to talk to us, and I'm so glad we've had this opportunity. And thank you, America.
Oh, thank you, and thank you. And so, what country do you call your home country?
Well, that's the problem now.
Oh, really?
We're a little homeless, I guess.
A little homeless.
I think we're becoming more Mozambican now.
Mozambican.
Oh, that's too sad, though. That really is sad, because you grow up in a world and you really think it's all safe, and that's where you have your roots, and then all of a sudden you're forced to leave.
I know, but it could be worse. We could have ended up, well, we're in a really beautiful place right now. So let's just hope we do keep safe, and let's hope we can continue to look after these horses.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we hope so.
Well, I think you've touched all of us today, Mandy. Thank you for being on the air with us.
And thank you, too.
Right.
And you go on and have a wonderful day. We're going to bed soon.
Oh, it's nighttime over there. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, have a good night.
You too, Larry. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. We'll take a little break and we'll be right
Bye.
back.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Ugh, what wrong?
Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. After promising to let Americans keep their existing insurance policies for a year, President Obama has called the CEOs of insurance companies to the White House today to discuss how to make that happen. Insurance industry analysts have said it may not be possible. Police in Miami have been questioning the pilot of a small plane who claims another man fell out of his aircraft at 2,000 feet. He radioed a mayday call after a rear door opened. So far, the victim has not been found. It was a wild commute in western Ohio. More than a dozen horses got loose from a farm and galloped around on roads near Dayton, causing 5 car crashes. 2 people were hurt. 6 horses were killed. Former Dolphins player Jonathan Martin has arrived at the office of NFL investigators looking into allegations that he was bullied by a former teammate. The real retirement age is 70, according to a new study out of Boston College, not 65. Researchers say if you can work 5 more years, you'll get 76% more money in Social Security benefits. It's called the Delayed Retirement Credit. Scientists say it's the best-kept secret in town. This is ABC News.
Attention taxpayers, if you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, it's a fact that they have the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, and even your freedom. If you've received a letter from the IRS, don't ignore it. Your problem will only continue to get worse. Here's the good news. The IRS has recently released new programs geared at helping struggling taxpayers where you may now qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe, including penalties and interest. If you're being audited, have years of unfiled tax returns, have a federal tax lien, or worse yet, are being issued a wage garnishment or bank levy, listen carefully. Authority Tax Services expert staff of ex-IRS agents, attorneys, and CPAs can immediately protect you from IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guarantee. Call 800-549-1435. That's 800-549-1435. 800-549-1435.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're in Florida. Today will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, the high 75 to 79. Cloudy tonight with showers, perhaps a thunderstorm, low 64 to 68. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy with some showers and a thunderstorm, high 78 to 82. Sunday, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower left over, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here are today's headlines from the source WOCA. The Ocala Police Department is reporting that they have arrested 2 people in connection with the shooting death of a 28-year-old man early yesterday morning. The deceased man is identified as Samuel Lee Washington. According to the report, police received a call at 2:36 a.m. informing them that shots had been fired. Shortly thereafter, Monroe Regional Medical Center personnel contacted the Ocala Police Department to report a patient with a bullet wound. The 2 arrested men are identified as 20-year-old Howard Lee Hill Jr. and 22-year-old Laquan Rhea Mel Barrow, both from Silver Spring Shores. Both were charged with battery and burglary, and it was unclear if police were even connecting Hill and Barrow with the shooting of Washington. Anyone with knowledge of what happened can call Detective Jorge Fernandez at 369-7000 or Crime Stoppers at 368-STOP, or you may go online to ocalacrimestoppers.com. Customers of Florida Blue whose policies were being discontinued due to non-compliance with the Affordable Care Act may now extend those policies through 2014. President Obama yesterday announced that all insurance companies can extend the non-complying plans for another year. In mid-October, about 300,000 Florida Blue individual policyholders began receiving notices that their policies were being canceled. Affected members will receive new letters from Florida Blue informing them that they can continue to use their existing plan through 2014, according to a news release issued by the company yesterday. The Jacksonville-based insurer is currently examining the impact on small group plans. Florida Blue is the only insurer offering plans on the Federal Health Exchange, an online marketplace through which consumers can purchase subsidized insurance in all 67 Florida counties. A San Francisco area man was sentenced on Wednesday after pleading guilty to violating wildlife conservation laws here in Florida and committing wire fraud, according to U.S. Attorney Melinda Haag in California. Dean Tuan Trin, who is 44 years old from Milpitas, California, got 5 months of home detention and was ordered to pay a $10,000 fine and $14,400 in restitution for his involvement in the illegal catch and sale of Florida nurse sharks and California leopard sharks. Trin pleaded guilty on August 8th after admitting that he ran a wholesale fish business known as Aquatop USA from 2009 through 2012. He advertised undersized nurse shark pups for sale on eBay and Craigslist, knowing that these sharks were harvested from Florida state waters out of season without the required licenses and permits. Trin conspired with a Florida fisherman to obtain the sharks, according to court records. He also used his boat called Shark Hunter to fish for California leopard sharks in the San Francisco Bay, knowing there was a lucrative market for sharks less than 3 feet long. And glove boxes and wallets could be less cluttered under a proposal going before the state cabinet on Tuesday. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles will ask Governor Rick Scott, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Chief Financial Officer Jeff Atwater, and Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam to sign off on a proposal that would allow people to display electronic copies of their motor vehicle insurance through their cell phones, tablets, or other electronic devices as proof of coverage. The proposed rule is intended for use during traffic stops when officers ask for proof of insurance. According to spokesman John Lucas in a news release issued yesterday, the use of electronic copies is in state law, but the department's administrative rule currently requires motorists to carry 3.5 inches by 2.25 inches identification cards that list personal injury protection benefits and property damage liability insurance providers and policy numbers, along with the vehicle year, make, and VIN number. The rule has been on the books since 1989. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 8 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, back years ago when we were riding bicycles more often than we do now, there was one day we went out to ride bicycles. I said to you, okay, I'm okay with riding bicycles. And the day I said yes, it was a day I felt good. The day of the bicycle ride, I didn't feel so good. And I almost said, you know what, I don't really feel like doing the bicycle thing. But I said, I'm just going to do it anyway. And it was an amazing thing happened, like a mile or two into it, I started feeling better. I was like, wow, it's almost like the exercise actually got rid of the bad feeling, right?
Yeah.
And how many of you are like looking at the prospect of going out and shopping, and that's almost like an exercise for you to walk around, right, in all these malls and things like that. Well, it just might be the best thing you could ever do for yourself. Maybe you should go shopping all the time. Just don't spend money.
That's right.
Lisa Lynn has been with us before, and she's on the phone again. The last time she was with us, by the way, let me see if I remember what it was that stimulated like 100 phone calls for the next week. Was something white? Was it white kidney beans or something? What the?
Yeah, something like that.
She said something on the air last time, and we got a lot of calls after the fact. And
yeah.
I remember I had a note on my desk just for those calls, so I could tell people what you had said, Lisa. Lisa's on the phone right now. Lisa is a certified fitness trainer, a specialist in performance nutrition and fitness therapy. She's the creator of the Leaner Lifestyle series. She's on the Dr. Oz show all the time, and on our show now and then too. And she's a personal trainer of Martha Stewart. And there you go. Boosting energy and mood naturally with good nutrition and exercise is our topic today with Lisa. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. And I should warn you're going to get a lot of calls on today's topic.
Oh, really? Okay, now last time, what was it again? It was white beans or something? What the heck was it?
Phase 2 white kidney bean extract.
Sage 2? Or stage 2?
Phase 2. It's a brand of white kidney bean extract that's very high quality and the only one proven to block carbs, which people want to know this time of year.
And they wanted to know at that time of year, too. We had
Bring
a lot.
it to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so you can. I mean, what? So is this like a miraculous kind of a thing? And I know I don't want people to think this is an infomercial. This is not. But I'm telling you, if you listened last time, Lisa was on it. It just came up sort of in conversation, and then it stimulated a call. And I thought, okay, well, it's not unusual to get 1 or 2 calls after an interview, but we must have had. Okay, I say 100 is exaggerating. Maybe 50. Mm-hmm. I bet you we had 50 calls though. So,
well, I take a personal responsibility to do these types of things. Is I talked about white kidney bean extract on Dr. Oz, but you only get 30 seconds of what we spent 10 minutes talking about. It got edited.
Right.
And not just any white kidney bean extract works. You got to take the phase 2 or you're not going to see results.
Okay, and what does it do exactly, just for those who want to call me again?
It blocks the carbs from being digested so they can't be stored. But phase 2 is the only clinically backed. I tend to look for high quality, clinically backed, scientific proof. You know what I mean? I want stuff that works, or people should save their money.
Okay, so could you literally pig out on bread this Thanksgiving, and this would stop you from gaining weight from the bread? Is that right?
Yep.
Have you done this?
Yep. Oh, it's funny. I bring it. I was just in Vegas for 3 days, and I whip it out of my bag because the eating's not so good there.
Really? Okay, so now, and I know we have something else we want to talk about, but real quickly, the carb conversation. The carbs I think of as bread and pasta. Are there anything? What else has carbs that is maybe hidden?
You know what? Anything that's not a vegetable or a protein is a carb. So fruit even could count. So if you think you're being good and you're eating this big bowl of fruit, more importantly, the phase 2 also balances blood sugar. When you're not having this carb zigzag thing because they're not absorbed, your blood sugar stays balanced.
Okay, all right. So that was last time's topic. Now, what are we talking about today?
Oh, we're going to talk about feeling good.
There you go.
All right.
You're so positive.
Right.
You
I
nailed
love
it.
you.
When you said it, you didn't feel like riding the bike. I don't know about you, but I don't feel good most of the days this time of year, although I'm in cold Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're in Connecticut. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, just going back to that experience I had, it was an eye-opener for me because I figured out, wow, just moving around helped me feel better.
You're right on the money. And people always say, how do you exercise? Well, I feel the way everybody else does. I wake up, I have a little seasonal affective disorder going on. I'm tired from the grind of work. Exercise makes you feel better. You'll never feel good when you don't do it.
So now if somebody talk to 2 different people. I want you to talk to the person who's trying to lose weight and the person who's fine with their weight, but they feel lethargic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who feel that way, and it makes you grouchy. For the person who's trying to lose weight and just doesn't feel good, the one reason I'm passionate and I study this stuff is that people don't eat right when they feel that way, one, and then they don't exercise because they don't feel good. So it's crucial to get them feeling better right away.
Okay, and is this all with exercise and supplements, or is there something else?
Yeah, supplements count. Of course, everything counts. Our train of thought, or I say wherever your head goes, your body follows it. But this one thing that I'm talking about today, believe it or not, is skip the coffee if you're lacking energy, because what they're showing is that it stimulates cortisol production. That's the stress hormone that makes us store fat in the midsection. And move it over, don't hit the messenger, for green tea and macoca.
What is that?
Oh, I like green tea.
Do you like green tea, by the way?
No,
I do.
You do?
Not really. It's kind
of. I drink it, but I have good news for you. If you don't like it, and a lot of people don't, you don't have to drink the green tea. Macoca is mixed with green tea, and what macoca is, it's an ingredient found in supplement form. you can't drink this stuff.
Okay.
That not only contains green tea, but it's got decoconized coca leaf extract. And that is the secret ingredient that's also found in our favorite Coca-Cola that makes you feel good, but Macoca doesn't have any of the sugar, calories, or caffeine.
Okay. Now, help me understand, what is green tea? I mean, what leaf does it? What leaf makes it?
It comes from the same tea, believe it or not, or leaf as the black tea does. They're just different processes. So this one is processed differently from black tea, so it's higher in nutrients in a short speech. But I have to say, green tea is really helps shuttle nutrients into the cell. It does have some caffeine in it, and that helps nutrient uptake, which is why, an ingredient like Macoca is mixed with it. It makes it more effective.
You'll hear people, because what you are advocating is people have got to start moving around, even if it's something small. How do you tell people, how do you get people motivated when they use excuses like they say, "Oh, I've got arthritis in my knee, so I can't walk to the corner store"? How do you get people to realize that they can walk? Yeah.
Right. There aren't any excuses because, and by the way, my mother is one of the worst with that arthritis, and I am empathetic. I don't want to sound cold because, in fact, I struggle with pushing people to move when I feel bad for them. But I guarantee people that when you move, you'll always feel better, and when you don't, you're not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to your website.
Movement is what your body is. When your body aches, it is your body screaming, saying, "Move me, please." Because what people don't realize is when we move, we're shuttling blood throughout our body. So say you're low in nutrients and you take something when you exercise, you're shuttling those nutrients into the cell and moving the bad stuff, the toxins that make us ache, out.
Lisa, I'm at your website. Lisa Lynn is linfit.com, and I'm at the before and after page, okay? Let's see. All these people look pretty good both before and after. Let's see.
I have some new ones going up, although you know what's funny? The heavy people really never take, none of us, including me, have before shots because we hate ourselves. We rip them up.
Yeah, well, Pastor Frank his before and after is a big difference.
You should see the real before that I have that I'm about to put up now. He finally gave me permission.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
He was one of those people. He ached. He ate terribly. He didn't want to move. The worse we feel and the less we move, the less we want to move.
Well, he lost 62 pounds according to this, right?
Yeah.
So what did he do? Yep. How did he do that, and how did you help him do it?
And, he's a big one with supplements. I actually had to argue supplements away and get healthy diet in. But the first thing is to get people moving. And, yes, I am someone who will put a conservative supplement, including the one we're talking about today, the Macoca, in someone's hand because it gets them to move. So it's like 1% changes in 100 different areas. Next thing I know, he's moving, he's feeling better, he's starting to eat better. And it's a snowball that we build.
This woman looks good before and after. Jen Gross, she looks pretty good. She lost 35 pounds, but her before picture looks beautiful, just like her after picture.
Yeah, you know what? And they do. And I have a new one up that's lost 80 pounds. You'll see in the next month. And I always replace someone's breakfast with a protein shake, as you know, because what I'm finding is people really are so confused about what to eat that while I'm teaching them how to eat for weight loss, they're losing weight at the same time.
So when you say somebody eats poorly, what are they eating?
Granola that they're being told is really healthy with special coconut milks that are loaded with sugar.
Oh, you don't like that?
And so it's compulsive. Well, it's not healthy, and there's so many foods. There's a lot of healthy foods out there, but they're not all good for weight loss.
Oh, okay. So I mean, so the things you just said, granola and coconut milk, they sound healthy, but you say they're not.
Exactly. And there's another one that's been coming back to me. So women replace their typical whatever they're eating for lunch, and they're loading it up with beans and avocado, healthy foods, high-calorie foods, high-carb. And so they're so confused. The first thing I do is replace a meal or two with a shake and have them focus on dinner so they're losing at the same time.
So how do you keep from craving? Because sometimes your body just wants something, and if you just dance around that something, the body's still craving it.
Well, and that's a good point. Most of the time when we're craving, it's because we're not nourished properly, which my other tip is take an omega-3 at 3 p.m. And not just any omega. You have to look for DHA or EPA above 500 milligrams, because once we're nourished with these good fats, we tend to crave less, and because it is a good fat, it keeps you feeling fuller longer. So nourish your body, and you won't tend to crave as much.
So what would that be? Fish, omega-3? Is that you eat some?
I like to have people, back in the day, we used to say if you ate salmon twice a week, you didn't have to supplement. Not true now, because we eat so many omega-6s, which comes from olive oil, that it's pushing our omega-3 levels down. So I say supplement with it.
And what do you tell the person who's a vegan?
With omega-3s?
Yeah.
Take them.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because half the time, to be honest, and I was a vegan, I kind of messed myself up. I did it to control my calories. And I thought I did know too much for my own good about I love animals, so I could go down that road too. But I didn't feel good, and I ended up depressed. I ended up with hair loss. So you got to take omega-3s. It's a fish source. The fishes aren't hurt.
Yeah.
The
That's
fish,
right.
Fish eat other fish.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is my thing. I know cows don't eat other cows. I guess I can understand. But fish, they're going to eat another fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes we do know too much for our own good, and I certainly was one of them. And it depends. Look, if you're vegan and you're feeling good, then you don't need to listen to what we're saying. But
That's
if you're
true.
not and you're
Yeah.
struggling, you do need to probably do something about it.
So the one thing I've always thought is that if I have a problem with my car, I go to a mechanic. If I have a problem with my house, I go to a handyman or something. So if I have if I have a problem with my nutritional needs, I can't go to a health food store and really know what I'm looking for. How do I know?
That's a brilliant comment, by the way, because I started studying weight loss and metabolic exercise because I realized that all the nutritionists out there, they know general nutrition. And it's like, do I want to go to Florida or Maine? Which direction you go on 95 is totally different, but you're still on 95.
Yeah. Oh,
and if
good
you
point.
want to
Yeah.
lose weight, you got to go to a weight loss specialist, not just general dietitian or nutrition, because you're going to end up lost. And I really believe it's why our country's in the state it is today.
All right, now here's something just an experience that Robin and I had. We were on this health kick a couple of years ago. We went to a health food store, and they happened to have a salad bar.
Yeah.
So we said, "Oh, why don't we just have lunch here?"
Uh-huh.
I hated it. It was
It was not good.
I hated it. It's like, oh man, I can't eat like this every day.
Yeah.
But now I can go to a salad bar like at Sonny's or like like at Golden Corral. I don't know what you have in Connecticut,
Yeah.
but and I can get healthy food there. I don't have to pile on the but there was something about the what is it, hummus?
Hummus,
What is
yeah.
that stuff?
We call that the health halo, by the way, and I've been down that route, so I feel bad for all the people. I always say to people, go for green and beige, green vegetables and beige proteins. It does not mean cheese, by the way. But, like, if you can eat fish and salads every day, you're going to lose a lot more weight than... I piled on all that stuff, and I used to eat cheeseburgers and French fries.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty. And I was eating the same amount of calories in these health halo foods, so I was really no better off.
No, really. So beige and green. So beige would be fish and what? Chicken?
Yep.
That's it.
Fish, chicken, and become a breast man. You want to have
There you
breast.
go.
Yeah, man.
He's ready.
Yeah, man.
He'll be a breast man.
And,
I have no problem with that.
Right. And so if you're a breast man and you're eating green and beige, lots of green vegetables, you're going to fare a lot better.
What about turkey?
But
Turkey
I think
okay?
what you did, it sounds like you fell in the same hole as I did.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know what? It just wasn't good.
No.
I don't even know what
And
it
you
was.
know what? I would rather be dead than not eat good food, to be honest with you.
Have you ever gone to a Chinese restaurant, like a Chinese buffet, and they have the
Octopus?
No, not the octopus.
Those are disgusting.
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
eat those.
No, I'm going by.
Yeah,
It's like
Oh.
it's all vegetables, but among the vegetables, there's this square, spongy thing. I never eat
Oh,
that.
yeah.
What is that?
The tofu, you mean?
Oh, that's tofu. See,
Oh,
I knew it
okay.
was one of those. Yeah.
I used to eat all of those, by the way. And by the way, I was vegan. And when I worked with this guru, Dr. Fred Hatfield, to mentor with him, he said, I will not even begin working with you unless you stop this vegan stuff and start eating a little bit protein. And I have to say to you that it did change my life because I was stuck. I was suffering. I feel sorry for the people I ate with while I ate tofu and they ate normal food. And I gained weight doing that.
Oh, my.
Oh, see, that's
a lot
crazy.
of people do have this story, which is why I started backward. I started eating fish in the morning. That got really old at 4:30 a.m. and went backward full circle and started drinking a shake. So I knew I
And when
started
you
losing
keep
weight,
saying
but
shake,
I
what do you
felt
mean?
better.
So go
A
get it.
protein shake, whey, pure whey.
All right, and where do you get that from?
You can, if you're going to go to the health food store, you want to look for something that's got a good 24 grams, which is a politically correct serving of protein, but that's free of sugar and low carb. And if people need help, they can email me. I'm happy to help them find what they're looking for.
Is that the what's the song about the Little Miss Spider sat on a piter? What's that thing?
Yeah,
Little Miss Muffet.
So, yeah, she eating her curds and whey the same way. Is that?
Curds
yes,
is cheese.
Exactly. Whey is a byproduct of cheese, by the way, and it's very expensive to manufacture. So you do have to know what you're looking for.
So you like whey, but not cheese. You'd
Yeah, no cheese.
But why
we
whey?
want that crap removed. Cheese is good for weight gain.
But why whey then? If whey is part of
The
cheese.
nutrition is held in the whey. That's where all the nutrients and by the way, for immune building, I just got back from a 3-day seminar on health and wellness, and no matter what industry you're in, they all agree that if you want to lose weight and you want to be healthy, you got to eat the right protein.
So if you don't want to weigh more, you got to eat more whey.
That's right. That's right.
Is that what you're saying?
Got to eat protein.
Having more whey is what they say.
Eat more whey, and you won't weigh more.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay, all right.
And the problem is that everybody's jumping on this healthy bandwagon, so they're sprinkling it in sports drinks and nutrition bars. But you got to look for 20 to 24 grams of protein per serving, little or no sugar, little or no carbs. You want it pure.
Do you count your calories?
No.
Oh, that sounds like sort of. Wait a minute. I can read into people's answers. That sounded like a sort of.
When I have to take my clothes off, meaning into a bra top and tight workout clothes, I start buttoning up. But I eat in a manner like I have 2 shakes a day. I'll have fish and salad for dinner, and then let's not talk about my cheats. But I've got my diet dialed in, so I don't have to count them.
Okay. I don't have. I have no idea where the taking off of clothes came from in that answer.
She's thinking about protein.
I'm just.
Yeah. When I have to be good, I count my calories is the point. It does make a difference, by the way. And yes, you should count your calories.
All right. Lisa, you are fun. I thank you so much for coming on the air with us.
But you are so genuine, Lisa. I mean, everything you say, you're not pushing anybody or anything. You're having people go at their own pace, and you are the guide for them. You're not, the person that's forcing. And boy, you are so refreshing.
Well, I appreciate that. All I can ever do is share my experience, strength, and hope, and I know it's the struggle of my life because I'd rather be dead than not eat good food.
By the way, Pastor Frank looks younger. Not only just thinner, but he does look younger. And if you can get a note to Leslie McIntyre, she looks sexier.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and
by the way, getting better every year. I have upgrades to their pictures going up now.
She lost 57. It says here, 57.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was tough. By the way, if your listeners need to know where to find that WOCA, they can go to itsslimple.com or email me. I'm always happy to answer their questions.
Say that .com again. What was it?
It's Slimple.
It's
like
Slimple.
Slimple.
It's Slimple.com.
Oh, SLIMPLE?
Yeah, it's not an ingredient you're going to find all over, but it's one that I stumbled on. It helps with altitude sickness. But you ever hear about people really don't feel that really get addicted to Coca-Cola? Do you ever ask yourself, why not Pepsi? It's had a secret ingredient that really does make you feel good.
Oh, wow. I love Coke.
I'm not telling you to drink Coke, people. That's why I'm the calories.
This is an infomercial for Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Feel good.
And Lisa's website is LynFit, one N in Lynn, by the way, LYNFIT, LynFit.com. And I'm sure many of you already know Lisa. All right, so there's the website. Any other information we should leave our audience with?
Oh, how about eat a little square of black chocolate every day? That'll help the cravings.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
I'm on your
page. I knew you were getting at that before, and that really does kill the cravings, satisfy them, and if you get a really dark, like I'm talking 70% and up pure coca, cocoa, it won't spur on more cravings, and it's very nutritious.
Is this true for men too? See, women have this interesting thing with chocolate.
Yeah, I know. You wish you were chocolate, huh?
Yeah, you know.
I know that's what my husband's thinking when he watches me, and I moan when I eat it.
Okay. So this is Lisa. This is my observation. I've heard women say chocolate is better than sex, and I'm thinking.
I'm with them.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that, and I think, well, then we're not having that same experience.
Yeah.
It's
good, but we gotta have. If you give us our chocolate, you might get that other stuff.
That other stuff. You can't even say the word. She doesn't want to say the word.
No, she's a lady.
That's funny.
That's right.
Well,
everybody knows.
I feel bad because that means you're not. I mean, the experience we have on our side of this relationship is like so good.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it being like chocolate.
We're female. We would rather have chocolate, to be honest with you.
I know.
And if we get the chocolate, we'll give up the other stuff.
I know. So men, when you're on a business trip, just put some chocolate on the pillow. You're fine.
There you
That's
go.
right.
She won't want you to come home.
Buy the dark stuff.
She only wants you to come home to put more chocolate there.
If you get her that dark chocolate with some macoca, by the way, there's no telling what might happen.
That's right. She'll be all over you
I'll
guys.
never understand this.
Yeah, don't try.
All right. So chocolate and white bean extract and all these other good things. Linfit.com is how you can maybe educate yourself with all these things because it's all on there. And Lisa, and we can contact you on your website, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I really am happy. I answer every email myself. I struggled, so I understand what it's like. If people want to send me their story, I'm more than happy to help guide them.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for being so generous.
Pleasure's mine, by the way. Anything I can do.
And if you're ever in Florida, we are now broadcasting from the mall.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
I'm coming to Florida soon, by the way.
Oh, good.
Come into the studio.
I would love to do that with you and literally be available for as many hours as you need to help people. Let them come right up with their questions. And
all right. There's a chocolate shop right inside the door here.
Oh. And then we can eat the chocolate and moan on air.
That's right.
Moan. Eat the chocolate and moan. I'll just sit and watch.
I'll bring the macoca. We'll pop the omega-3 wheat.
There you go.
Where we might go from there.
Wow. All right. I'm looking forward to having that moment. All right.
I can't wait.
Lisa, thank you so much. You're always fun. Stay warm up in Connecticut. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you here in the studio one day.
Awesome. Sooner versus later. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County. Building homes, building hope, building community.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
I'll never understand that chocolate is better than sex comment. I'll never understand that in my whole life. It's got to be a old lady thing. Just one of those things. All right, let's see. And Brianna's on the phone from Jerry's Fun again.
She'll answer your question.
No. They don't sell chocolate at Jerry's Fun again. I don't think. Now, I have had bars. Turkey jerky. Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just push the button. No fancy intro this time. Brianna, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We just had an interesting interview with a lady, so.
Oh, my.
I mean, she loves chocolate so much.
Wow.
Chocolate is such a big deal for her. It's better than her husband. She told us this.
Yes, she did.
Man.
I don't know where. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing something. I think he's doing something wrong. Is what I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So you do have chocolate there. Robin said you have candy bars. How many people?
We do.
We're gonna send people to Jerry's for candy bars.
Oh my goodness.
You know the chocolate I like. You know the kids when they're selling chocolate like to raise money for school.
Yes.
Isn't that better chocolate? That's really good stuff.
That is good stuff.
What is it? I don't know. It's usually $1. It's like wow.
It is, and a long bar with a white wrapper.
Right,
Yep.
right. Whatever that is, they should sell that in the stores. See, I always like when the kids are. I'd rather get that than like the Girl Scout cookies. This has nothing to do with Jerry's, by the way. We're just chatting. So let's see. What should we get? You know, the other day I fixed my toilet.
I'm happy for you.
I fixed my toilet, and you know what I needed to fix it? A wrench.
A wrench.
And do you know how many tools I have?
How many?
I have a pair of pliers and a butter knife. And I needed a wrench. I should have come to you. You've got tools over there.
We do. We have tons of tools.
I should have gone, Brianna.
Yeah.
I'm fixing my toilet. I really need to fix it quickly. I need a wrench very bad.
Yeah. I know where to send you for one of those.
Where do you get the tools from? I mean, are the tools brought in by people who trade them in or sell them, or how do you get them?
A little bit of everything. Whether it be somebody that needs a loan, and then I guess they realize they don't need them back, they don't come back for them.
Oh, really?
Or people sell them to us, or trade. We get them all three ways.
Really? Any power tools there that we can talk about?
Oh, lots of power tools. We've got miter saws, we have routers, we have sanders, drills, sawzalls, you name it. A little bit of everything.
That's the man's tool, right? The sawzall. It saws all.
I don't know. I have one, and
it's a Brianna tool, then.
trim limbs on trees.
But it saws all.
Joe and Dan have that too. The sawzall. They have one of those.
Nothing comes in handy.
Wow.
It's a sawzall.
That's a great Christmas gift, Dan.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
Well, that's what I'm getting at here. The gift giving season is here, and you got a person that likes tools. Get a sawzall.
That's right.
There you go.
and one of the things that people have a misunderstanding about Jerry's Pawn and Gun is they think it's all used, and you've got a lot of new stuff there too.
We do a lot of new stuff.
So let's go through the store a little bit, and we've talked about guns and rifles and knives a lot. Let's see and jewelry. We talk about jewelry a lot, and musical instruments. What's in the clothing section?
Well, there's a little bit of everything. I have children's camo. I have ladies' camo, men's camo, hoodies, bibs, not coveralls, but overalls.
Okay. You mean bibs for babies?
No, they're overalls. They call them bibs.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's the same.
I didn't know that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
They have Scentlock, Badlands, a little bit of everything for the hunters, and all of those items are 20% off right now.
Oh, really?
We're gearing up for our Black Friday sale, so that is one of them. The boots are 20% off. the lacrosse and the bogs.
Ah, okay.
So there's a lot of things going to be on sale Black Friday, a couple weekends away.
Brianna, have you ever been to Teddy Roosevelt's house?
I have not.
It's an odd question, isn't it? well, when you go into the gun room at Jerry's Pawn and Gun, it reminds me of Teddy Roosevelt's house because Teddy Roosevelt has a lot of animal heads on his wall. Oh, and you've got a lot of animal heads. Are those animal heads for sale?
Probably a couple of them are for sale.
Okay.
But most of them are Jerry's.
They're one animal he shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. He hunts a lot, doesn't he?
He tries to.
Do you go hunting?
When he gets a chance. I have not been in a long time, but I have been hunting, yes.
You have been hunting. Do you like the whole process? Do you go up in a tree and you sit in that thing?
Yeah, sit up in it. Well, I haven't sat in a tree. It's a ladder stand type thing, not a climber.
Oh, okay.
I can't do climber.
Are you by yourself or do you have a friend? How do you do that?
No. I always went with a friend.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it was fun. It's a lot of fun. If you have time to do it, it's nice just to sit there in peace and relax and
just wait for an animal.
If you're here, then you've done even better.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like large items to give for Christmas, like boats or trampolines, something like that. Do you have anything like that?
I believe we have a boat right now.
Oh, okay.
Trying to remember. I think it's a 2006 motor on it. Let me see all the details on it. But we do have one boat for sale on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It is Express brand. It's a John boat, 16-foot, 2004, I'm sorry. And I believe that would make a really nice gift for this Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Do boats hold up, because you said it's a 2004, and that would be 10 years old for a car, but it's different on a boat, right?
It is.
For the age?
It is different on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
And as long as the motor's been kept up, everything is it's in good working order.
Oh, okay.
This morning I saw a video of an elk that got onto somebody's trampoline.
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. Look on YouTube. Put elk on trampoline.
Okay.
Got it. They had the you know how some trampolines have like a cage around them so the kids don't fall to the ground when they're jumping on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the elk got through the cage somehow, and it didn't know how to get on. All the other elks were looking at him like, "What are you bouncing for?"
We took time to play. Let's go.
On the coins that you have, when a person buys a coin, do they get paperwork with that, or is it just a coin and then collectors know automatically what it is?
A little bit of both. Sometimes we're fortunate enough to get paperwork on certain coins. Other coins are just somebody's collection, and any collector can come through and look at them and judge for themselves whether or not, if it needs to be put in their collection or not.
All right. Brianna, always have fun speaking to you. Where is Jerry's Pawn and Gun?
We are located on Highway 441 in Northwest 8th Street in Ocala, just north of 40 where the courthouse is.
And what's your phone number?
Phone number is 622-3780.
And if I'm like a really old man in a nursing home one day and you come to visit me, you don't mind if I put my hands on my hips and say, "Where is Brianna?"
That would be okay.
All right, Brianna, you have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back to have fun with Joe.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Legally